Oh my gosh, Mary Charlotte, where are we going?
We're going to Old Mill High School.
For what?
For Cappies.
What are we seeing?
Aida, yay!
What is Cappies? Cappies is a syndicate of high schools working together to give each other's theater arts programs useful criticism. There are currently 15 chapters of Cappies across the United States and Canada. It was founded in 1999 by Bill Strauss, author of Millennials Rising. And most of all, Cappies is fun and improves high school theater for all the students involved.
I've seen Romeo and Juliet, Peter Pan, Honk, Aida, and 12th Night.
Peter Pan at Maryville. I saw Once Upon a Mattress at NDP. At Franklin, I saw Romeo and Juliet. At Beth Tafilla, I saw Aida.
I went to Old Mill, South River, NDP, and a couple other shows.
I've been to see Romeo and Juliet, Aida, The 12th Night, Peter Pan.
I've seen Romeo and Juliet, Aida, Peter Pan.
I've been to Old Mill, Annapolis, Chesapeake, Loyola.
The first show I saw was Once Upon a Mattress at Notre Dame Prep, and I also saw a couple plays like Maryvale's Peter Pan and another musical at Beth Tafilla called Aida.
What's your perspective on your high school theater program before this?
I don't know, it was still growing. It was a nice way to meet people in the building and make friends, but we weren't like involved in anything outside.
I mean, I feel like I've gained a lot of respect for Delaney Theater after I watched other shows because, I mean, you kind of go to other shows and you see like, oh, like they have good actors, they're lacking tech, or like, oh, they have good tech, but they're lacking actors, or like guys and girls, but then you see Delaney Theater and I think we have a lot of talent in like one school, which is, I guess, I mean, you don't see that everywhere. So I've gained a lot of respect for Delaney Theater after going and doing Cappies. And I've also seen a lot of talent that we have around the county.
How critical are you of other shows on a scale of 1 to 10?
I think I'm pretty critical, but I try and put a positive spin on it. So if I'm like, oh, I really didn't like the thing that they did, I'll be like, okay, but they also did this awesome, really cool thing.
But if you were to rank yourself on a scale of 1 to 10?
I guess about a 7.
I don't know, like a 6 or 7.
An 8 or a 9.
I'm fairly critical. I'm like an 8.
I'd probably say like a 5.
Probably an 8.
I'm probably like an 8.5. It depends. Like on tech aspects, I'm highly critical because I don't act, so it's unfair for me to criticize acting because I don't have like a basis to go off of besides what I've seen through Delaney Theater Company. But I have a relatively extensive tech knowledge, so as far as my critiques for tech, I'm a lot more thorough about those and I take it really seriously.
And how has seeing other shows affected your performance, and what have you been able to incorporate as an actress?
It's cool to see people like stay in character all the time and like little mannerisms they use. It's like small stuff, but sometimes you can like just pick up on it and use it.
Well, seeing other shows, I pick out what I like, and I'm like, oh, that's a really cool thing that maybe I can try and do better personally. Or if there's something that I didn't really like, I'm like, oh, I have to make sure that I'm not really doing that.
So you were Belle this year in Beating the Beast here at Delaney.
I was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, from seeing other shows at Cappies and seeing other performers, what have you been able to incorporate?
Oh, man. That's a hard question. I mean, I think I watched 3 shows before Beating the Beast started. I watched Peter Pan, Romeo and Juliet, and 12th Night. And I mean, they're all really talented. Like, you can always like tell that they're like, especially Romeo and Juliet. They did in the black box theater, so they're literally right in front of you, and they are always in character. And it is actually ridiculous because like in a black box theater, it's basically like the audience is here, and like you standing right there would literally be like Romeo or Juliet or something. So like the amount of stage presence that's needed, I mean, I guess that's always a takeaway because you go out of like character for like a second and people notice, you know what I mean? And like especially when they're right there. And I guess, I mean, for a lot of scenes in Belle, like sometimes I would be right there because I had like some scenes where I would like come in on the front, and like during about a prize, I was like literally right there in the audience. So I guess incorporating that sense of stage presence.
How do you feel about your theater program now?
Delaney's theater program is really strong. I was really impressed with the show that we did in Cappies this year. I wasn't a part of it, but I got to see it a few times. And we did She Kills Monsters this year. I really loved all the actors in it.
I love Delaney Theater Company. Like, it's my second family, as a lot of people know. And I honestly don't know what I'd do without it. I'd probably just be like sitting at home painting sadly. So, I mean, it gives me something to do, and I'm really passionate about it.
I love it. It's grown a lot. We've gotten a lot more interest, and the Cappies team at least is seeing so many more shows and growing, and we're just involved, and we know so many more like people from other schools, and we're getting involved in more groups now, and I love it.
Oh my god, I'm so proud of it. Like, I mean, being here since freshman year, I've watched every single Delaney show, and the amount that the theater program has grown since then is ridiculous. Like, in 4 years, so much has changed. Like, I feel like before it'd be like, oh yeah, I guess I'm gonna go see the musical, or like, oh, like I'm gonna go see the play for extra credit, and like now people are genuinely excited. Like, they know that Delaney Theater is amazing and that we have a lot of talent, and like for Beauty and the Beast this year and like She Kills Monsters, like people were excited, you know? And I think before there was always that other force that was like, oh, I want to go see it because I'm getting extra credit for English class. And like that was usually like the norm back then. Like when I watched 12 Angry Jurors, I didn't really know anything about theater, and I remember sitting there and looking at the actors, and I was like, wow, like this is cool. Like that's like really cool to like be able to like be on stage and like that. But I never thought that I would do theater, and like I don't know how it happened, but I guess I kind of started doing theater, and I guess I was kind of in it. But I mean, the amount it's grown is crazy. Like, the amount of excitement that people feel, like, oh, like Beauty and the Beast, there was so much hype. There's like, oh my god, I'm so excited to come see your show, and like I never saw that in like freshman year, and like I'm really proud of what we've created, and I feel like, I mean, obviously our director, Brendan Clement, he like spent a lot of time like promoting the show and everything, and it's like, I feel like a lot of other schools, people aren't as fortunate because theater isn't really that big. Like, you go to other Cappy shows, they're like Aida, they're amazing, but like there aren't a lot of people that watch their shows. And like, you come to our opening night and we have 500 people in the audience.